We are inching closer to the 2014 general election, and as part of our commitment to Democracy 2014, we're sitting down with the candidates to help you get to know them before you head to the polls.
Well, this helps. Our Chuck Stokes sat down with 12th congressional candidate Terry Bowman.
Our interviews with the candidates continue on Democracy 2014. Joining me now is Terry Bowman. He is Republican, and he is running in Michigan's 12th congressional district. And welcome to this show, and we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure it is to be with you.
You are running in the 12th congressional district. That has been dingo country for a long period of time. If you ask anybody, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they'll tell you that his two main passions were health care and the environment.
Sure.
People of the 12th district need to know, what would your passions be if you're elected?
Well, first of all, health care is a big issue in the 12th district, around Michigan and around the country. With the passage of the Affordable Care Act, what I'm hearing from people in the district is that they are losing their choices of their doctors and their plans. And health care, it affects people so much so personally, but it also affects the economy. And this bill actually encourages unemployment and part-time employment as well. So I think health care is absolutely a passion of mine, and as well as bringing back a common sense government, a government that realizes, you know what, we have children and grandchildren that we have to remember, and stop outsourcing the tough decisions today onto the backs of our children and grandchildren. So I think those are absolute passions of mine.
So, Mr. Bowman, if you get there to Washington and in the new Congress, they take up the issue of the Affordable Care Act, are you going to be telling them to repeal it or to tweak it, to fix what you feel is wrong, or is it fine just the way it is?
Well, I think that until we were able to get a full Congress and a president who's willing to repeal the act, I don't even think that's a possibility. So what my role as a congressman for the 12th district...
That would be your preference, you're saying, if you could get it, if it were realistic.
If we could get it, we could still help the people that needed help without destroying the health care choices of the 85 to 90% of Americans who like their health care to begin with. But my role is a realist, and I realize that the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, is not going away. So what I have to do in Congress is to do everything I can to lessen the negative impacts on the people in the district and around Michigan, but still protect those people who needed help to begin with.
You're Republican. You're also have been involved with the auto industry. You know a lot about the auto industry. What message would you send to the labor movement?
Well, you know,
many people say is aligned with the Democrats
absolutely.
to a great extent.
You know, I have been very involved. In fact, back in 2010, I started a group called Union Conservatives because I was so angry that my union dues were being used for a political agenda that I disagreed with. And I knew there was a lot of us that had jobs in the auto industry and around the United States that felt the same way that I did. So my message is they really need to look at the candidates instead of just voting for who their union officials demand that they vote for, to actually look at the issues and look at the candidates. I think that the way that I fall on the issues are so much more in line with the people of the district and the workers of the district than my opponent. And so I think for the workers, they need to look at what the person stands for and not just absolutely going in and voting for who they're told to vote for.
If Michigan is indeed the comeback state or one of the comeback states, is it because of the auto industry or is it because of the policies of the current administration led by Rick Snyder?
Well, I think it's both. I think Governor Snyder, there's no doubt that Michigan is much better shape than it was 4 years ago. The auto industry has come back. I actually approved of the job of the auto money going to GM and Chrysler. Of course, I work for Ford, so we were pretty proud that Ford did not take any of that money. But I think it's a combination of both. We cannot ignore the auto industry. It's in our heart, it's in our soul, and it's in our blood. But we have to look at other options as well of manufacturing outside of the auto industry. And Rick Snyder, I think, has done a fantastic job promoting Michigan and changing the business environment so that jobs in the private sector can be created.
Yeah. Quick final question. I have about 30 seconds left. If you get to Washington, everybody complains about the gridlock. Will you work with Democrats to be able to get the people's work done?
Absolutely. That's your job, to work with the other side of the aisle and do what you can. There's certain core issues that I have as a Christian and how I was raised that I cannot differ from, but you can always compromise on issues to bring the people's needs to the district.
All right. Terry Bowman, thank you so much for coming in. He's running as a Republican in Michigan's 12th Congressional District. You can always go to his website for more information.
All right, thanks, Chuck. And coming up tomorrow at 7, we'll introduce you to the other candidate running for the 12th Congressional District, a familiar name, Debbie Dingell.
We also have everything you need to know for the November election. Just head to our website at WXYZ.com/candidates, and you'll find it all right there.